Hi everyone. So pretty much I'm going to start off just like a little idea. So everyone always tells you always hear from commercials, personal experiences, like how bad alcohol and cigarettes are, for example. Yeah, they're terrible for you. We know. We know because we have been given the knowledge. So with that being said, everyone tells you about how bad they are. And we get that, and they are, and you shouldn't smoke them or drink them. But no one ever really stops to talk about like what's in the food we're eating every day, and it can pose just as bad of health risks to us. So it really got me thinking the other day, and actually not the other day, a couple months ago when I started working out. I'm going to the gym, feeling really healthy about myself, really just trying to get that healthy lifestyle. And I stopped to think, like, what am I eating? Like, what's in the food I'm eating? And out of curiosity, I looked and I did a little bit of research. And I was kind of grossed out by what I found. It was not something that it was complete opposite of healthy, let's put it that way. So today I'm going to be talking about hydrogenated oil, partially hydrogenated oil, and trans fats, and how extremely dangerous they are for your health, and they should be avoided at all costs. I'm also going to touch base about what they are, how they're produced, some major health risks, what foods they're found in, and some healthier alternatives for you guys to take a look at. So first I just wanted to start by talking about what they are and why they're used. So pretty much what trans fats and hydrogenated oils are, it's pretty much one and the same. It's an oil that's been processed through a chemical reaction. A chemical reaction is going to contain 3 different components: an element of extreme levels of heat, a metal catalyst, and some pressurized hydrogen, like gas. So, pretty much in this big manufacturer's unit, they're creating this compounded element, which is in a lot of the foods we eat today. This metal catalyst that they're using could be anything from nickel, aluminum, zinc. So I find it very interesting that something like that could be in our everyday foods and we're not even aware of it. The hydrogen gas is pumped into the oil at these excessive temperatures and pressures, and what it does is it, with the metal catalyst, it pretty much makes like a stiffened molecule, like a very firm, not as loose molecule. So the oil is becoming hardened, it's becoming a solid form instead. So why? You might wonder, why are they doing this? Why is this in our food? Well, because it's inexpensive. It increases the food shelf life, the stability, and the texture. So manufacturers are actually profiting off of that shelf life. They're profiting in whole, and the production cost is so cheap that why not? Why wouldn't they do it? Well, I'll tell you why. Because there's tons of health risks. So you're really thinking about like something that could be so solidified that to the point where it's going to have a longer shelf life. Well, why would you want to take that into your body, Well, the health risks that are really involved are kind of lengthy. There's a lot of research being put into it right now. And there's actually a lot of countries that ban hydrogenated oil, trans fats, because it is so unhealthy. So pretty much the FDA, the Federal Drug Administration, or Food and Drug Administration, raises the hydrogenated oil and trans fat raises your LDL levels, which are it has a correlation to the risk of heart disease. So it's a huge proven fact that these oils will lead to heart failure, heart disease, clogged arteries, and also in a nurse's health study, they did a study with which showed 50% of people that had taken in the hydrogenated oil, had eaten it, consumed it, they had a higher risk of heart attacks than the people who consumed the least amounts. It has a raise of diabetes. Like the risk is a lot higher for diabetes, colon cancer risk, and increase in obesity, like a huge increase in obesity, because considering your body can't break down these compounds because it's something that's not natural, it's kind of understandable why people can carry the weight that they carry. Relatively, I feel like it holds people back from being able to achieve full weights because it's something that's sitting in you that's completely not breakable. So now I want to tell you about like where they're found, just so you know, like, well, I'm eating this, right? Because I'm pretty sure we all do. But where are they? So when you're at the supermarket, there's about 40% of the food on the shelves contains hydrogenated oil, trans fats. So we have crackers, chips, shortening, candy, creamers, butter, peanut butter, cake mix, ramen, like tons of foods, lots of chocolates, like white chocolate particularly, yogurt covered raisins. It's in so many different foods. It's really all about reading that label. Fast foods, anything fried, you can bet that it's been processed through a chemical compound, especially with fast food restaurants. KFC, Burger King, just a few to name. Some fast foods are actually pre-fried, and then they're sent to the restaurants, and then they're fried again before they're given to us. So, it's kind of interesting. So the FDA actually approved a guideline for trans fats. So they have to be 0.5 grams per serving or less. So that's, if we're having a regulation on the amount of something we should intake into our body because of the health risks, I feel like it's a little evident that we probably should be not consuming them. So some healthy alternatives, because obviously we all love peanut butter and we need our fix of cookies and stuff. So some healthy alternatives would be, when you're at the supermarket, like fruit, vegetables, all natural peanut butter. Look for the all natural stuff because it's not been chemically processed. Shelf life, buy it before it expires, use it before it expires. It's a rule of thumb. You don't need something that's going to be chemically processed to give a longer shelf life. It's just not healthy and it's not smart. Use olive oil and non-processed foods. When you're out to eat, you can ask about the trans fats. You can ask a restaurant, what am I eating? What's in my food? You're entitled to that. And at the same time, many places now know of the health risk, and they know that the FDA has these regulations. And they actually have the information on the menu, which is really, really cool. And it's convenient. Everyone wants to know what they're eating. Well, hopefully everyone wants to know what they're eating. I do. So New York City was actually the first, just a little side note, they were the first to ban trans fats in their restaurants because they realized the health risks. So the FDA required that the food would be prepared in different ways to actually eliminate the use of hydrogenated oil and trans fats. And they couldn't eliminate necessarily because of, the profit margin and everything like that, but they did, New York, all restaurants can guarantee you that they're 0.5 and under with as far as the grams for trans fat per serving. So, today I kind of hope I enlightened some of you to look into what you've been consuming, especially for the people who are getting into their health and really trying to live a healthier lifestyle, whether or not be through exercise or eating right. You should just be aware of what's in your food. So knowing how these oils and fats are processed and the negative side effects, is it really worth it? I really like the negative. I really like the natural peanut butter. It's so much tastier, and it's all these healthier alternatives, they really aren't bad. I think that everyone should think twice about the foods they're consuming. The negative side effects, it's not worth it to have clogged arteries and have heart disease waiting for you because you have eaten these non-breakable compounded oils in all your foods. I think everyone should try to turn to these healthier alternatives, and they are just as delicious, if not more. And I hope that I inspired some of you out there to take a look into what you're eating today. Thanks. Bye.